things when you get to my age. Like friends don't lie and it all tastes the same in the dark. When your vinyl and your coffee collection is a sign of the times, you're getting spiritually enlightened at 29. So just give yourself a try. Won't you give yourself a try? Won't you give yourself a try? Won't you give?
I found a gray hair in one of my suits. Like objects in a modern debate, I just took it out. The only apparatus required for happiness is your pain and fucking going outside. And getting STDs at 27 really isn't the vibe.
Jane took a life at 16. She was a kid who had the box tattooed on her arm. And I was 25 and afraid to go outside. A millennial, the baby boomers like. So just give yourself a try. Won't you give yourself a try? Won't you give yourself a try? Won't you give? 1, 2, 3, go! What would you say to your younger self? Growing up it's quite hard and whiskey never starts to taste nice.
And you'll make a lot of money, and it's funny cause you move so sunny and get addicted to drugs. Instead of seeing amounts of fucking seeds and beans online.
So just give yourself a try. Won't you give yourself a try? Won't you give yourself a try? Won't you give? 1, 2, 3, go!
Hey! Oh, oh! Hey! Hey, 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 hey!
You learn a couple things when you get to my age. Like friends don't lie and it all tastes the same in the dark. When your vinyl and your coffee collection is a sign of the times, you're getting spiritually enlightened at 29. So just give yourself a try. Won't you give yourself a try? Won't you give yourself a try? Won't you give?
I found a gray hair in one of my suits.
Hi, chat. Hi. Hi, chat. Hi, everybody say it. Everybody say hi. Everybody be really nice and say hi to me. Hi. 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 No jump scares today. No, none of this. None of that. We're just saying hi today. Hi, chat. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody's having a comfy wumpy Monday. I wanted to try something new today. Because I finally figured it out. And it's probably, it could possibly go disastrously. But it could also be fun, and it might go great, and it might go okay, and either way, I think that's okay as well. I finally figured out how to get audio properly out of my DAW that I make music with into OBS to stream. There's a plugin that I tried a couple years ago that didn't work, and then I found a different version of it that did manage to work last night when I was testing. So we'll have to see. I'll need someone in chat to be like, yes, we can hear it. That's the crux of it. But we'll get into it pretty quick. We'll chat for a little bit, and then we're really just gonna vibe tonight. We're just gonna hang out. I'll kind of sparsely be speaking every now and then, just chiming in, maybe explaining a little bit of what I'm doing more in depth. Also, apologies, the lighting isn't the best right now, because I just wanted to keep the vibes low. I wanted to turn the mood lights on and really get into making some we're just gonna make some chill, spacey, ambient synth music tonight. And I'm really excited about it because it's something I'm really passionate about. I'm I don't think I've ever really talked about it on stream. I'm a very meditative person. I meditate every day. And that can either involve guided meditation or straight up just sitting in silence, or sometimes even just sitting and putting on just some ambient synth music and just spacing out and just kind of no thoughts, head empty, but in a spiritual way. So that's what we're gonna do tonight. We're just gonna make that type of music. Let me say hi to everybody though. You'll notice I'm speaking a little more softly tonight as well. We're just gonna be really chill tonight. I don't want anything surprising or jump scaring. I mean, we have alerts on still, so if you guys want to be dicks, but maybe if that's too bad, we'll turn those off. Ow. Let me say hi to everyone though. Nikki, hi. Congrats on first. Lycan, hi. Thank you. Shia, hi. Rex, hi. Yuri, hi. Arachno, hi. Hey, you are cool, and I like your streams, and have a good stream. I am running away before you can respond to this. Oh, no! Thanks for stopping by anyway, I appreciate it. Skibidi Miku for... Yeah, I can't wait to have Hatsune Miku with Skibidi Toilet on her back. I believe the render officially leaked. This morning. The Hatsune Miku Fortnite render is, out in the wild now, which is pretty cool. There's some really cool Fortnite survey skins I wish I could get. I wish they would finish, I wish they would make real. There's some really cool ones. That'd be a fun stream, just to go through all of the, Fortnite survey skins and look at the unreleased ones and, rate them on, Fortnite.gg. Blanket, hi, how's it going? Welcome in. Anyways, you and Cabbage did an amazing job on the song. Thank you, Lycan. Yeah, we did it last month. It was really fun. And Lucy and Bacon helped a little bit as well with the effect rendering on the artwork as well. But Lucy drew the artwork, and it turned out really, really nice, and I'm really happy with it. Good working on that plat trophy for Stellar Blade? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's, do you need 100% outfit completion for that? Because that must be brutal to have to get to 809 on New Game Plus. I'm trying to do that on my current New Game Plus run. Just 30? Okay. That's still cool. Hell yeah. I don't know if I platinumed it yet. There's probably an obscure one or two I've done, but I feel like I did almost everything in that game. I think I did every side quest. I don't know. Dudes want to talk all day about how Stellar Blade just wasn't it's not Nier Automata, bro. It's just a Nier ripoff, but there's a lot of special stuff in that game. I don't know, you can call it a mid game all you want, but the bottom line is there wasn't another game this year that sucked me in for 50 hours until I finished it and did everything. Not a lot of other games do that to me these days. Even Baldur's Gate, as amazing as Baldur's Gate is, I'm still on my first playthrough over a year and a half later. Granted, I took a year off, but, Anyways, I need to do 2 other endings and I'm pretty much done. Yeah, I think there's one ending I missed. Miramis, hi, how's it going? Chat, can you give me 2 seconds? I'm running to the bathroom. I'm gonna just mute it real quick. I need to wash my eye out. Hold up. Okay, I think there was an eyelash in my eye, sorry. That wasn't even like a blindness thing, that was just a straight up eyelash. Ow. Stop throwing stuff, meanie. Anyways, chat, shall we see if this music stuff works? More P-chlorpy, more P-chlorpy, more P-chlorpy. Shall we see if this music stuff works? Let me swap over real quick. Let me get myself in position, because I basically have window capture open so that you guys can actually see the musical process of what I'm doing. So let me switch over real quick. We will see if this works. Okay, so first things first, I gotta go to advanced audio properties and make sure it's in stereo and not mono. Good, it's in stereo. Awesome, so chat. This is Cakewalk. This is what I make all of my music in. All the music you've ever heard that I made has been in this awful fucking program that I will absolutely, as soon as I'm done with all of my albums, I will be switching to Cubase. But for the time being, we're in Cakewalk, and I've used it for about 15 years. I'm quite adept with it. And it's free now as well. It's no longer going to be free soon, so that's another reason I'm switching to Cubase, because they won't fix any of the fundamental issues that this fucking program has had for over a decade. So I'm just going to switch to, I don't know, a company that actually fucking updates their software. But regardless, this is Cakewalk. Honestly, all software does the same stuff. It's just a matter of which one you're used to the interface in, but I've known all of these hotkeys for all of my life, basically, at this point, you know, since I was a kid, you know, a 13, 14-year-old kid in, whatever, 2008 when Sonar, like, X1 came out, or, like, 2010, maybe, I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was, like, Sonar 8.5 is what I started on, and then X1 is, like, the one I really got into. But anyways, so this is what I make music in. And honestly, tonight, I'm not going to be yapping a lot. We're really just going to be, I'm going to try my best to just make the music as it's playing and do everything I can to just make sure that we're just relaxing and just like listening to this music. So, I don't have anything really planned out besides I wrote 2 chords. My plan tonight is we're going to make a really long, just 2-chord repeating, looping ambient track. Using some synthesizers and some rudimentary effects. And I'll just kind of explain things a little bit as I go. All I really have right now are these 2 chords, an instance of Serum open with my own custom skin, which is ugly as fuck to look at, so I'm actually going to swap to the default. And we're going to bring it up to 125% so I can see it a little better. This is all I really have. And then I have this other track here that I added because I have probably audible. I have my synthesizer, my DeepMind Behringer plugged in as well right now. So we're going to try to make some sounds with that and with some software synths. Serum gets really, what's the word? It gets a little bit, hard on the computer if you use too many of them. So I'm going to just use this one basic Serum to make the bass pad, and I might do everything else in like Massive or like any of these like Arturia V Collection synths. But yeah, all I have right now are these 2 chords. So really all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a filter on so it doesn't blast everyone's ear out right away. Make it a hard filter. And this is all we got right now. I'm actually going to make them about half what it was. Clip it, and we're going to loop it, and we're going to set this fucking loop to go for like 6 minutes, or however far I can bring it, like Right there. Yeah, it's about 6 minutes. And I'm just going to set that to loop. Don't loop the entire thing. And now we have our loop. So I have these 2 chords to start with, just so I can design some sound. Now, can someone in chat please let me know, can we hear this? That's like a big thing. Are we audible right now? I would assume yes. Okay. I'll also be like periodically muting just to like lock in on sound design, but I'll try to explain what I'm doing as I go. So first thing we're gonna do, fuck you guys. I'm gonna listen real quick and make sure I can hear it. Yeah, cool. It's coming through on stream. Sick. Awesome. So all I'm doing is just making this basic fundamental sound to carry the whole piece. I have a couple wavetables in here, so the basic fundamentals of synthesizers. I can actually explain this really quickly. So with a synthesizer, there's only a few parts to it. There is the oscillator, which is the base shape of the sound. Most synths have these basic shapes. Here's a sine wave. It's very smooth. Very smooth. Then you'll have a sawtooth wave, which is very rough. Right? That's a triangle wave. It's, I guess, a fairly basic one as well. It's kind of between them. It's a little poignant, but not... It's still pretty soft, right? I actually used... one of my favorite uses of just a basic triangle wave was the arpeggio in Fenzi's BGM. This other one, also probably the other most basic one, this one's very Game Boy-esque, is the square wave. Also quite soft, and can I wave shape it? I think I can. Yeah, so there's also a pulse wave, which is where you take a square wave. Oh, this one won't bend. Okay, left. I think there's a proper pulse wave in the back or something, probably. Yeah, this is a pulse wave. Okay. So pulse wave is when you take... It almost sounds like a razor when you bend the wave like that. Especially if you sync it. It's like one of my favorite sounds. It's just very like razor-esque. Anyways, so those are a lot of the basic synth shapes. The other big thing with synths, let's get a sawtooth to show how this works, is the filter. The filter basically cuts all of those rough sounds so that even with a sawtooth wave like this, it's about as soft as a sine wave would be if you use a filter on it. Right? And pretty much at that point, all you have otherwise with synthesizers is the envelope, which will sort of be the timing of the sound. So there's, on most envelopes, it's attack, decay, sustain, and release. And they're fairly self-explanatory. So if you have everything kind of defaulted the way I do right here, with everything basically evened out, you have a sound where you press down the key, it plays as long as you hold it, and with a release at 0, as soon as you let go of the key, it just stops. However, you can bring the attack up just a little bit, and as you hold the key, you see how it kind of, you see and you hear it, goes up. The longer the attack, the longer it takes for the sound to attack. Decay and sustain are a little bit harder to explain, but the easiest way is dragging the sustain down and the decay down, and then I'm going to press and hold the key. I'm not going to let go of the key, but you're not going to hear the sound because the decay, you can see in the shape here, it just boop, and that's it. Right? Oh, you can actually see the key here. That's right. That's cool. And then sustain as well. Let's bring this back to 1. Bring the sustain back up. The release, when I let go of the key, you'll see here, it fades. So that's what the release is. Ocelot, how's it going? Welcome in. We're just explaining the basic principles of synthesis before we start making some ambient beats. And at that point, that's all a synthesizer is. It's just these 3 basic principles. I mean, a real physical synthesizer will have like a VCA, and you'll actually have to select your oscillator to start, but it can get a little more complicated, but that's really the basis of it. Everything else is just how you make those parts work together, which we will be doing a lot of, because that is kind of the fundamental principle of ambient music. So, I'm just gonna start dialing in some sounds, and maybe I'll explain as I go, and we're just gonna relax and chill the fuck out and listen to some fun music. I also want to say, these chords here that I'm playing, I'm just going to use them as a foundation for this. They sound alright for now. I'm thinking I might find some different chords. I might just fuck around in a little bit, but I just want to get this basic like pad sound out first. Know what the fuck waveform you would call this. This is like a weird looking one. I guess it's like a inverse sawtooth. Interesting. So one thing about this chord that I don't like as well is it's quite bass heavy. I don't really like how bassy it is because I want to add a bass synth later. But I think for now, again, I really just want to build the pad before we start thinking of chords. We're gonna bring in this second oscillator here, and we're gonna work with some more advanced wavetables and see what we can get instead, and then we'll bring this first oscillator back in as well. Now mind you, all these wavetables I'm browsing through here, I just have them from some presets I downloaded years and years and years ago. I don't even know what half of these sound like, so it's really just gonna be a matter of just like fucking around. Like, I don't know what cubism is. Let's have a look. We'll take the filter off and hope it doesn't get too loud. One thing I don't like about some of these third-party wavetables is that they're very choppy as you like sweep through the tables. This one's actually pretty good. Some of them are really jumpy when you move between them. But this isn't so bad. Some of it anyway. We'll find like a sweet spot to run through some. Just looking for something kind of just like sine wavy, but just a little pointed as well, like triangle-ish. But that's what's cool about wavetables. They're just very weird. Yeah, like this one, you can see how drastic it is. Sometimes even between these single-digit values. I mean, there's 256 wavetables in this fucking thing. And they're all just basically sine wave variants, which are cool. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And now we can just like detune this one and go kind of crazy on it. Go like 8 voices, fuck it. So one of the first things I'm going to do to add some motion to this is add an LFO, which is like the main thing that makes a synthesizer move and feel very like organic and alive. And all an LFO is a basically a range of values that you apply to any parameter in a synth. So if I drag this to this detune here, now you'll see as this graph goes by, it's moving the detune table up here. See that? And that's really all it's doing. So we're gonna adjust the shape of this and the speed of it a little bit to basically be a little off time. I don't want everything to match up on time often. So we're gonna set this to 3 bar because most music, and this included, is in a count of 4. So if we set it to 3, it'll kind of be all over the place. We could even go 7. How do I get to 7? Or we could just turn BPM off and have it just do itself with, I'll just set it to 3. We could just turn BPM off entirely and just work with frequency range, where it just goes on a timer based on hertz value, but I don't really want to do that because I want something that still is a little bit controlled, but not predictable, and something that throughout a fucking 10-minute loop will be different every time, even if it's just 2 chords. That's the point of this. Lit friggin' oscillator, true. Okay. Let's bring in the other oscillator. One thing I also want to do is detune them a little bit, but I'm going to use the chaos system in Serum to basically modulate, and add 2 values of them, the fine tune of both oscillators. So as soon as I bring that in, we're getting some weird sound that just takes it a little bit off base. And actually, yeah, that's fine to me, I think. I can hear my computer popping already. It really doesn't like using this much resource while streaming, but who gives a fuck? I'll mostly be using less resource-intensive synths after we're done with Serum here. So one thing I want to do, I want to add some attack. We're going to have to restart the loop. There we go. All right. We're going to add some release as well, so it kind of fades into, instead of popping like that. Like that. Voice count down as well, and I might even change for the moment the oscillator quality. Never mind, that's really crap. That's fine. Next thing I'm gonna do is modulate the filter a little bit and get that to kind of move around. We're gonna set this to something kind of moves it a little erratically. One thing I don't like about Serum is that it doesn't seem to have easily accessible LFO preset shapes, so you kind of have to draw it in yourself, which isn't super fun. A lot of great synths just have like preset shapes for LFOs, but that's about the peak I want. And now we're gonna set this really slow. We can actually turn the BPM off and just have it run by hertz like this. that. We're going to turn the detune down a little bit as well. And now we have something we can add some fucking reverb to. So I'm going to go into my mixer here. And on the pad synth bus, I'm going to add Valhalla Supermassive. We're going to add Valhalla Shimmer. Supermassive's great, but Shimmer is going to give us some bigger, extra tones to this. Check this out. So I'm going to set this to dual reverse pitch. We're going to set the big reverb. We're going to set it to reverse reverb, which you do in this by typing in 0.618 in diffusion. And now bring the size up and the feedback. Bring the size down again. And we're just going to dial this in until we start hearing these big, hear those high sounds now in the background. Those are nice. I'm going to turn the high cut up actually so we hear those better. That's nice. Bring the feedback up more now. And we're really cooking. Bring the mix down a bit, just so it's not overwhelming. Now we have something, right? This is a good basis. I do want to try some different chords out though, so there's a few options we can do. I can just fuck around and play some chords. I'm actually going to turn the reverb off for that. And I'm just gonna play some chords until I like something. Hold this and I'm going to transpose it. Yeah, that's not really. I'm feeling something kind of like moodier but a little darker as well, right? So I think that was actually the chord. I think that's already the chord I actually have there. That's funny. Let me get my foot pedal so I can hold these out a little. That's something maybe. I think it's very similar to what we're already playing. It might even be the same chords and intervals. No, it totally is the same chords. One other thing I like to do... Actually, I don't want to get to that yet. Whoa, hold up. Make like a ninth chord. Almost sounds too much like an organ at this point, though, you know? You can really hear the LFOs starting to pick up a little bit, though, as I hold it out longer, which is kind of what we're looking for, right? It sounds too gospel-y. Like, I want something kind of dark. Let me, like... That could be it. Okay, alright. Okay, alright. Yeah, let's just record that in. Fuck 'em. Okay, so I have this. We're just gonna quantize it real quick because it's not really that important here. Can we quantize, please? Not letting me select note duration. That's fun. Oh well. Oh, it's selected. It just wasn't doing it in the GUI. That's cool. That's great program. Awesome fucking piece of shit program. There we go. Okay. So we have that. We're gonna bring that this far. Okay. So we have this like I think it's some type of variant of D. I want to say this is a D suspended fourth, with the fifth included though. D minor suspended fourth with the fifth. So D minor suspended fourth add five. Yeah, I think that's what you would call it. There's a million ways to name a chord. So I'm hearing this in my head, and I hear it going down to It's gonna be an A minor. Sneezers. Okay, so we're gonna dial that in, and all we're gonna do, we're gonna play the chord, right? But all we're gonna do is fucking move some notes around and find some interesting. I played a D instead of an E. Whatever, I'll just move it up. The point of this is just we're going to take durations. There we go. Bring it back. Okay. Point is, right? Still a nice chord. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of these and we're gonna move them in other places, and we're gonna try to spread these chords out, make them kind of real big and wide. Right? And once we add bass, there's gonna be a lot of like weight to it. I want to copy it. I want to move it. I actually think I'm going to bring this up here, this up with it. Move that there. We're going to move this. Okay. And now we're going to move this. I'm actually gonna keep some of these, I think. I kind of like that. Kind of like that for now. So we're gonna make sure they're all in the same clip because Cakewalk can be iffy with that sometimes. And now we have a new loop. So we have these two different chord progressions here. This one. And this one. So to me, I'm looking for something a little icier anyway. I think this is the one. So we're gonna work with this for now. And it's gonna have as much weight as the other one once we add some bass back in. And there's a lot of shared notes between them, which is gonna help add to this kind of drone vibe. So let's add back our... I'm not used to having the console on the main screen. I usually have my console on the other monitor, but because we're streaming all on one monitor, I just gotta be used to putting it on my main one again. Anyway, so we're gonna bring this reverb back. Now we're getting that icy tone again. And they carry over into each other. So that's great. I want to modulate a few more things with the LFO here, namely the detune speed of the first oscillator. Like that. Actually, we'll add some saturation via Saturn later. So one thing I'm hearing in my head right now that we're going to add with the DeepMind here, we're actually going to duplicate this real quick just so I have two. We're going to send this to the lead synth, or we're going to set this to the add synth. We're going to call this add. I'm hearing the sound of a synth in my head that is making this like whale sound almost. So I'm gonna work with a real synth here, so you're not gonna be able to see any feedback on screen. What I am gonna do though is I'm gonna add a actually, I'm going to add it directly to the track instead of the bus, just in case anything else goes on the add synths, because they can be a little bit varied. So I'm going to add a Juno chorus, because the DeepMind is basically a Juno, and it doesn't have a proper fucking... It has a Dimension D chorus on it, but no Juno chorus, which is really fucking weird. I'm going to set to mono in, because I'm not recording in stereo right now. And then we're going to add... we're gonna actually put the Supermassive on this one. This is one of my favorite reverbs. It's free, and it's amazing for ambient stuff. So I'm just gonna dial in something I know I kind of like already. So if I just play, it's like exactly what I'm looking for already. All right, cool. So we're gonna turn that off for a second. Actually, we're just gonna turn the whole channel off. Okay. All I'm really trying to do here, and my model's gonna lose tracking for a minute as well while I'm dialing the sound in, because I have to like stand up and get to my synth. But basically, I'm just gonna dial in this sound I have in my head right now and just keep moving with it. Yeah, so it's a C. Okay, so let me... set it to mono, detune it just a little bit. I'm going to turn on just the square wave, bring in a second oscillator. Like that is what I'm looking for. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm actually going to go into the mod matrix on this synth itself. I'm I'm gonna set the LFO 1. Actually, hold up. No, actually, I need to not oversimplify. I need to oversimplify. I need to not overcomplicate. I'm going to go into the main LFO. I'm going to turn it to sine wave. And I'm going to go into the mod matrix. Choose LFO 1 as my source. And I'm going to see if I can get to the master tuning and see if I can make it like... Actually... I want to... Now this is where like synths get complicated. I need to brainstorm how I can basically make the LFO apply both to the envelope and the pitch so that every time I trigger the note, it goes... basically, without me having to fucking do that with the mod wheel. Oh, I forgot to turn the velocity off. That's important for this synth because for some reason the default patch has velocity and Junos do not. A real Juno does not have velocity. Dialing in the gain staging here so it doesn't clip, but it's loud enough. Now hear the vision now. When I turn the reverb and the chorus back on, it's going to sound like... like that. I'm actually going to also put some high pass in as well. Noise to the oscillator. Dude, fuck yeah. I actually need to edit the wheel itself to see if I can make it not like that. There we go, so now I can just drag it the whole way down without having to find that like sweet spot. Now, I might just manually record it and then just like loop it myself in the DAW, but I really want to like oscillate it or modulate it properly. So let me see here. Just gotta look at all the possible mod destinations. I think realistically all I can do is just send it to... Oh, Portamento time. That... No, actually that's not going to work because I'm not changing notes. Oscillator 1 plus 2, fine tune. I'm going to turn these off so I can actually hear what I'm doing. Oh, the LFO is not set to monophase. There we go. Now it doesn't sound like a crying fucking, like if I set it back to poly, it's like awesome, like horror movie sound though, right? Like, but we're gonna set to mono. Still set too high, and I only have it set to 1, so... Oh.
That's not really what I'm trying to do, though. It's still like very Silent Hill-ish. And what I'm really trying to do here is make something, just like Alien almost, like faraway planet vibe, right? Every now and then, not constant. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna record it in manually. Does the transport on my MIDI controller work today? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3, press. It does. Great. So we're gonna start back at, actually, we need to drag this to bar 1. Okay. Okay, let's record it. We're gonna start at the second loop right here. And just every now and then we're gonna like that. And now I can just put those on time. Also, mind you, I'm not recording with the with the proper TRS signal. I actually have it on my interface set to the guitar mode, so that's why the signal's a little bit like that instead of nice and big, but it doesn't matter because it's kind of quiet music anyway. And we're going to be turning the volume hella down, and it's just going to be drowned in fucking reverb, so it's literally not a big deal. To about there, and then this to like here, and to clip, and let me see, so that's 2, so we're going to set this here, and we're going to set that to there, and then just every now and then, it's going to come back in. I almost want to spread that out even further, like I almost want to take it to like, what's that, measure 33, and only have it come in every now and then. Like every like 2 minutes it'll play. Which I think can add to the real spaciness of this. And actually that lines up perfectly with where we dragged it to, so that's nice. Okay. And we're just gonna bring that really low in the mix. Okay, next thing I wanna do is bass. Which I love to do with NI Massive. I know it's like a pretty outdated synth at this point, but it's sometimes best to respect your elders. I say making this sound up here with a synth from the 1970s, so NI Massive came out in like 2009, but we're gonna make a bass with this one, and this is fun. So let me actually name my tracks properly as we do this. Okay, let's keep things playing. Above it. We might make a pad with the D minor, we might not. Actually have to restart the transport to arm the track, which is another fun quirk of Cakewalk. Okay, take a sip of water. Everybody take a sippy, by the way. Everybody hydrate. I should have gotten stoned for this. This would have been really fun high. Okay, so I want to start with a sawtooth and a sine. Perfect. I'm going to drag the sine down to -24 to be a sub bass. Hello, hi Star. I'm going to bring this down to -12. We're also going to detune it a little bit as well. Just a little bit off bass. Now we're going to put a 2-pole filter. Actually, I'm going to make it 4-pole, make it nice and smooth. Make sure everything is going just to that filter. Even if we had a third oscillator. Maybe. How's it going, Star? Welcome in. Set this to monophonic, 2 voice unison. We're gonna pitch cut off just a little bit, just to make it feel wide. Okay, we are not getting sound with it. Something. Oh, it's because the fucking filter's on. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna drag out the attack a bit of release. Okay. I'm gonna add one more oscillator. Add some portamento to it so it kind of smoothly glides up. Where is that? Here it is. I actually want it to be, I'm gonna just design the bass soloed out real quick. I'm gonna write it in actually. Let me do this as it goes. Hold up. This is actually why I have things set to the second bar, because I like to have that count off without having to go into the settings. I like to dial it in myself however much I need. Okay. 3, 4. I don't know why I didn't play the first note there. That's fine. I can just fucking write it in. That's why I didn't play. I played another note like a fucking idiot. That. And then we can just write them in, honestly. I'll set this to loop fairly smoothly. I think now all I'm gonna do is just kind of keep doing this and just have them slightly overlap each other kind of over and over again. Have basically looped this many times, and then at that point it's not going to be noticeable when it kind of resets the glide. Hold up. There we go. Okay. Now I can get into the sound design with it. Put an LFO on that hard clipper there to make it kind of come in and out. Hear that? Vroom, vroom. There's no visual feedback with the LFO and Massive though, since it's kind of older, but one thing I could also do is make the filter itself different. Turn the clipper off. The scream filter, for instance. Actually, let me keep that. I'll use the second filter for it. The scream filter is actually how Skrillex used to get his like wub wub sounds. Like it would basically just be like LFOs modulating that knob really fast with like the right cutoff and resonance settings, but that's not what we're even doing right now, so. Now we have this very organic sounding bass with just two notes. I'm gonna add a few more things to this. A little bit of high shelf, bit of low shelf, bring the master volume down. See if I can find, I wish it would tell you what the frequency is, but looking for about 1 to 1.5K, which is about there. That should work. I could always just manually dial that in with an EQ, but it saves resources to not have to put an EQ in. I'm gonna also add Dimension Expander, which is kind of like a Dimension D chorus. Makes it way wider. Normally you're supposed to make your basses mono, but it's a track like this, I would rather just put a mono maker on the everything below 100 hertz in the master chain, because you really get the depth with this. Maybe add a tube here as well. Get a little bit of that extra grit out of it. And now when we dial this back, see how much more like sci-fi this sounds now, chat? We're gonna add one more LFO to this cut off here. We're gonna make it really slow. So now only every now and then will the grit of the second filter come through. I'm actually gonna sync it properly. We're gonna set that to do it every 16 bars. Add a little bit of grit to this sound here. We're just gonna use Decapitator since it's pretty lightweight. Perfect. I'd actually put that before the chorus to stage a little better like that. There we go. I'm actually gonna fine tune this this reverb here. It's not bad. So one thing I'm hearing in my head is an arpeggiated synth, which I think we're gonna do with let me meditate on this. I'm gonna think what I want to do with an arpeggio. Use Oberheim Sem emulation. It's one of my favorite synths. I'm waiting for Behringer to release their clone of it because a real Oberheim Sem, a single one, goes for, I think when they reissued it, it was like $2K. Now they're on resale way higher, and like an actual original Oberheim TVS, just the TVS, the 2-voice. Don't even get me started on the 4-voice and the 8-voice. Just an original TVS goes for I think upwards of like $20K now. So it's great having this emulation of it. It's one of my favorite synths ever. It's amazing. There's actually I have somewhere down here I have what's it called, OBE by G-Force synths. They have their own emulation of this as well as the Arturia version, but the G-Force one is actually a fucking 8-voice one where it's just 8 of these panels. It's crazy. It's so hard to use. It actually has macros to control them all at once, even though that kind of defeats the purpose of having 8 at once. It's the real thing's impossible to it's not impossible, it's really hard to use because you have all of these knobs times 8 and you gotta dial them all in individually because it's one setting of these per voice. 8 notes in total. Each one controls each note. And what makes it special is when you dial them in as close as you humanly can, there's those little imperfections between each module. It sounds awesome, but emulation will be good enough. So I'm gonna just start with a template, and I'm gonna turn the arpeggiator on. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm gonna dial in my own arpeggio. So where is... Okay, we have just a sawtooth. We're gonna go with a pulse for now, and I'm gonna draw it in on the... Let me play something real quick on it. E and G. Okay. That's fine. I can just figure it out once I get it written down. That's fine. I don't really care. I can just write it in. There's not really an idealized manual arpeggiator or sequencer within the synth itself, which is why I picked it, but I don't want a straight up sequence. I want to kind of have it be all over the place like this, and then we're going to loop it. What the fuck? Oh! Accidentally recorded onto the bass track. I was like, what the fuck is that sound? Like that. Imagine actually making music. I could never. Hi Noir, how's it going? Welcome in. Okay, so I think that's our arpeggio. Obviously the sound design itself is just a basic, what is this? I think I set it to square wave maybe. Yeah, I just set it to a pulse. We'll dial that in a minute, but the main beauty of a sound like this is going to be in making it delayed. So we're gonna add an echo boy to this. It's one of my favorite echoes because it does pretty much everything. And we're just gonna ping pong it. Everything dotted eighths. You need to loop it. whole way now. Pretty good, how are you? I'm good, I'm just vibing. We're just making some relaxing ambient music to chill and relax and study to. I hope you can chill and relax and have a good time with us. Oh, dog, we don't even need to We don't even need to do much with this. Like, this just sounds awesome already. Like, the exact vibes we're looking for. I'll just bring the filter a little down. You can even hear that, like, tape saturation vibe because we used Echo Boy and put it on Space Echo. We're using Cakewalk. This has been my DAW of choice for years. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it works. We're gonna send LFO 2, which isn't on a real SEM. This whole sub-oscillator and LFO 2 panel doesn't exist on the real thing. Neither does this whole mod matrix, but we're doing it anyway. So we're gonna send LFO 2 to this envelope 1 sustain here. So just periodically it'll get super sustained out. Let me turn the chorus off or the echo off real quick. Have FL Studio 20, no clue to use it. I don't know how to use FL either. It's got a nice GUI though. Yeah, I'm probably gonna switch to Cubase eventually. I'm in too deep with too many albums and works in progress in this DAW right now, so I'll switch over eventually because I'm not a fan of the direction this thing is going in this software, but we're gonna do stuff with the pulse width as well. Ooh. Hi Jazza, how's it going? Welcome in. Hi Raiders. Okay, so fun fact actually, that like the synth I used for that exact sound was literally this. Just straight up, it was like it was the same synth. How's it going though, Jazza? Thank you so much for the raid. My name's Tomo Aries. I'm the Gyara VTuber from the moon. Today we're just relaxing. We're making some chill ambient beats to relax and study to. Welcome in. Let me give you a little shout out. We're just very chill vibes tonight, so I hope y'all are down for that. If you need to raid and run though, you're playing Perfect Dark. Let's go. Oh, did you hear they're making Perfect Dark woke? But yeah, if you if you need to get anything done after stream, by all means. Thank you so much for raiding in. I'll take good care of everybody. Yeah, if you need to raid and run, feel free to do so. That's no problem with me. Get some water and do some stretches. Everybody should do that right now, actually. Everybody take a sippy and do a stretch. Perfect Dark, more like Perfect Dark Souls 2. Anyways, welcome in everybody. Today we're just relaxing, making some beats, very chill. We're just doing some sound design and stuff. This first LFO I want to send to pulse width here. much. About like that. And now, this isn't really going that far on the sustain here like it should be. I bring it the opposite way though. I wish it would give me a visual of it. I think that's fine. That's a noise oscillator. Just to crunch it up a little bit, because that'll sound really vintage with this echo back in. Yeah? I'm thinking yeah. I'm also gonna actually... Might be a little stilted, but I'll set the pulse width LFO also to LFO2 and free up LFO1 so that I'll set it to... I'll actually turn the sync off. I'm gonna turn it to like 0.3, 0.4. And I'm gonna send that... Oh, actually, I don't even need the mod matrix for that. I can just do that like this. Hold on, I gotta turn the echo off again. Actually, let me leave it open so I can just do it myself manually. Trying to basically find the sweet spot. Cut off here. That when I turn the LFO really low, it'll go up to that right there. I want it to, like, basically disappear every now and then. Like this. And then slowly but surely, the LFO brings it back. Just to add more unpredictability to this piece. Dude! Oh my god, chat, and the way it like interacted comes right back in there with the like the ad synth up here. Ooh, cinema. wonder what the LFO1 shape is. It sounds like either sine or triangle, but I can't 100% tell. Because you can actually select it here. Well, I guess it's probably not triangle. It's probably sine. Or, it's probably sine. I'm gonna have it be a little more frequent. We're gonna turn that LFO up just a bit. So another thing I really like to do is add some like noisy ambience. There's a few ways to do this. I think we're gonna use Serum and hope my computer doesn't explode. It might, but my custom skin's a bit of an eyesore. I'm gonna redo it eventually, so I'm just gonna stick with this for now. So that's the default, actually. Actually, no, it's fine. The default at current zoom actually is important, though. Yeah. Okay. Turn the oscillator off. We're just gonna go for the noise oscillator here, and we're gonna just put a note in here at the bottom. There's a synth still running. Sometimes... There we go. Sometimes another glitch in this fucking piece of shit program is that it'll bug out sometimes, and synths will keep playing after the engine stops. It's really weird. Okay, so we're gonna take this like 4 bars, and then we're just gonna fucking loop it. That's not 4, that was 5. There we go. Loop it 4 more so it matches the bass, and loop it the whole way. Yeah. Okay, so what this is going to be is just a noise oscillator, basically. We're not even going to hear it yet. There's a lot of different noises we can work into this, and we'll figure different things out. We're gonna add some effects to it. We're gonna make it sound really spacey and just kind of like a atmosphere. Donna, hi, how's it going? Welcome in. We're making some relaxing music right now, even though this probably isn't the most relaxing sounding at the moment. Will be. Trust me.
You look pretty awesome as you came in the door.
Okay, cool. And we're gonna put an LFO on this. Slow it down. I wish there was a way to sample and hold LFO in this because that would let. Can I? Hold up. No, there's no sample and hold. That sucks. That's like a huge oversight for a synth to not have sample and hold. I could actually do this on my deep mind. I could do this on my deep mind, but it wouldn't be as precise. Fine, we're gonna add a shitload of LFO to all sorts of different things here. Now when we put some reverb on this, right, it's gonna like sound like wind in the background. Watch this. Ben!
Thomas Aries.
Ben, thank you so much for the 5 months of resub. How you doing, pal? Let me give you a little shout out. How are you? We're making some relaxing tunes today. How you been? How was the sauna when you were away? See what I mean now, chat? That sounds like wind in the background now. We are gonna turn the cutoff a little bit lower. Here it's really I actually can turn the oscillator settings down on this because it's just a noise oscillator. I mean that's coming along. Let's just like sit back and listen for a minute. Actually thinking I'm going to do right now is I'm going to add a second filter to this because there's still a little bit of resonance that I don't like here. This is the best plugin ever made, ProQ3. They actually just put out ProQ4 like last month. I need to get it still because it has some really cool features for when you get really in depth with mixing. But all I'm really going to do here is I'm going to low pass everything and get rid of some of those frequencies I'm not crazy about right now. That. And one thing I'm going to do with the bass as well, I'm going to add some EQ. and some chorus, and maybe some saturation, even though it's kind of already got those tubes. Now, actually, I think we're just gonna chorus, and let me get like an SSL style EQ. It takes a minute to load because it's Waves, and Waves are a fucking terrible manufacturer. But they're lightweight, at least, so that's good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring this to like 1K. That sounds good. We're gonna bring this, we're gonna make this a bell, we're gonna bring this to 1.5. Find that sweet spot as well. We're gonna cut everything above 5K. Because I'm crazy, we're gonna cut everything below 23, 24, 25, and 24. Okay. Now we're cooking. The pad, we're going to split to the sides a little more as well. We're gonna add another instance of Pro Q. And we're just going to mid-side pan it using the EQ frequency spectrum. I'm actually going to put that after the shimmer because that's creating some of the tones in it. So now when I turn it on and off, hear how it's kind of in the center. If you're wearing headphones, you'll especially hear this right now, but you'll hear this in the center right now. And when this little orange thing here isn't orange, you're gonna hear it in the sides instead. Ready? Way more ethereal, spacey. We actually are going to make the bass mono. It just seems right. Set this input to mono. Oh, it already is. Great. Right. And we have something really nice already. Now, there's like one other thing we could do as well. I don't know if my computer's gonna handle another synth. I want to add like... Let me try it. We're gonna add a CS80, which is like the most sought after synth in the world. They only made like 1,000 of these things. Fucking add 2, yeah, I will. We're gonna add the CS80. These things go for upwards of like fucking $50,000 to $60,000. Because they only made 1,000, and the parts inside are so unbelievably like high maintenance. Like you can actually see in this like emulation of it back there. Oh, when I clicked on that, hold up, how did that? Yeah, so like when it changes, you can actually see there's like a picture of wires back there because the whole inside of the real thing is just a mess of wires that's so hard to maintain, which is why these things are so sought after and expensive. But it's the sound of Blade Runner, basically. There's actually a preset somewhere here. Where's like the Blade Runner love theme? Whatever. There's like... This is the sound I'm looking for. From Blade Runner. That's what we're looking for, though. There might be one other one. Let me check in the... Yeah, that's all we got. For some reason, I thought the love theme... Whatever. I thought there was a preset for it somewhere. It doesn't matter. We're just going to work with the one we found. Okay. I'm not feeling it. Maybe it just needs reverb. Hi, Roof. How's it going? Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. I think what we're going to do instead is... Let me give you a little shout out. How you doing? Everybody go follow Roof. We love a Muppet. We love a Muppet. Trying to think what else we could add. I think this is really all this needs. We can do some processing. So let me add. You're doing lovely? Awesome. Me too. We're just vibing today. We're just like relaxing. So we're gonna turn this bus here. We're gonna call this cassette bus. Because what we're gonna do is normally I would use a real cassette. I could right now, but I don't want to have to do this on stream and like rebalance cassette tracks and shit like that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a cassette emulation and basically send, I love this plugin. This is Cassette by, I think, Waves Factory. It's really, really nice. And it basically emulates the sound of a cassette player. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to send all of these buses to it. Oh, this is gonna get chunky now. My computer's about to stutter. Let me see if there's a low quality mode. No, fuck me. This might, oh. Nah, hell nah. This is gonna get too chunky, I think. Let's try a different one then. We're gonna try RC20 by XLN. Don't worry about that. And we're gonna dial in a kind of cassette sound myself instead. This is a little lighter weight. It's clipping a bit, so let's bring it down a decibel or two. Yeah, bring it down to 4, that's fine. Add the noise myself. Dial in everything kind of manually instead of having a cassette like preset thing, which is way nicer, but I guess it's too heavy to do while I'm streaming. Like a little bit of this like space. It's called space. It's basically just like a little like really small release ambient reverb, just because that's the type of thing a cassette deck, some do have like that little reverb when you record them with like a faulty wire or like an old like Type 1 tape. The special thing about this is that it's really just everything's going through it right now, right? I want that wobble a bit. There we go. Everything's going through it. But we're only using this bus right now. Once we go back to the main master channel, we're just gonna blend this into it until we get that sort of subtly saturated tape sound. I don't actually like that distortion. I'm gonna use Saturn for that. Now we're getting somewhere. could widen it. We could also make it a little thinner. There we go. And now, just the output gain a little bit. So we bring it out, but now we bring it back in, watch. Just adds that little sizzle that we need, you know? I don't even need to saturate it, honestly. Like, I could, but... I mean, like, that's nice already. I think that's basically our track. And we did this in 1 hour and 40 minutes. Less, actually, about 1 hour and a half, because we spent a few minutes on the intro screen, a few minutes yapping. This is nice. One second. I'm gonna unplug my synth now. I don't want to leave it on. One other idea I have right now, we're gonna add Pan Man to the add synth. And it's gonna come after the reverb too, which is gonna sound extra cool. And all it's gonna do is, I wanna actually set this to, I'm gonna get this to not be tempoed. LFO, like this. Still way too fast for my liking. Like, it only goes to 0.1. It doesn't go into like the double-digit decimals, which isn't really what I'm looking for. I want it to go even slower, so. Crackling a little too much. I'm running out of and it doesn't even say I'm using that much CPU down here. I don't know why it's doing this. It's been doing this the last like couple days. I fucking hate my computer, man. I love it, but I need an upgrade. I think it's because we're streaming. I think really the stream is making this wonky. And Cakewalk is really resource intensive. That's why I'm switching as well. That's nice, though. One thing as well, I don't know if there's a setting for it. That's gonna lag, yeah. It always does that when I open up this. Add a little bit more crunch to the tape echo. And the other thing we can do, turn the feedback up a little bit. I'm gonna add a plate reverb. spaces it out way more now. And lastly, just the volume of it. Otherwise, there's not really much mixing to be done. It's like a pretty simple ambient piece, you know? Chat. I think this is done. I think this is ready to be looped for an hour and put on YouTube with AI generated art. That's a joke, but I will probably try to put this together into like a YouTube upload or something. I'm gonna loop the whole thing longer. I will loop it for like an hour. One hour and 3 minutes, chat. It's 1 hour and 3 minutes long. That's nice, though. That's really nice. Yeah, I'll put this up. This is for free use, for sure. Ooh, big stretch. But I would just need to master it off stream. I mean, we could master it right now, right? I'm gonna master it. Hold up. Give me 1 sec. I'm not gonna export a fucking 1 hour thing on stream. What I can do, give me 1 sec. Something I've been meaning to do is make instrumentals of the Fire Signs tracks. So I'm actually going to do that right now. Yeah, everybody take a big stretch for sure. Let me go into the files and I don't want to spoil anything from the folders this is in, because there's like thousands of songs with all unreleased information and such. Where is? I mean, let's start with Electro Girl. It's everyone's favorite, right? Let's export an instrumental of it. This is gonna take a minute to load. Holy schmoly! This is gonna take a hot minute, maybe. This might not even run on stream, because there's a lot of shit going on in this song. We'll see. We'll see. Gives you guys a little insight into my process, though. So that's cool. Just waiting for this to load. It's going to take a minute. It's stored on a hard disk instead of a solid state. So that's just how it go. Yeah, everybody stretchy, everybody sippy. God, I used Amplitude 3 for this. That is a software from like 2000 fucking... Christ, I don't even know when. Like, oh God, like 2000... like 8 maybe? Amplitude 3 came out? But it worked. I was looking for something that sounded older, because this is more based on like old Perfume. Okay, it looks like we're almost loaded. What the fuck did I use Contact for in this? Why is Contact in this? Oh, the electric piano. Duh. Come on, we're just about there. It says almost done. See right here, it says almost done. There we go. Okay, so this is all of Electro Girl here, by the way, chat. This is it. This is the whole song. Looks like these were all takes here. That's funny. I left these in and I just muted them in the in the final mix. That's funny as shit. There's actually not a lot going on in this song. Well, actually, yes, there is. Oh, never mind. Yes, there is. Okay, so let me bring the console over here as well. This is the console for this track. This is gonna run like shit. You can even see how low the frame rate is. I'm gonna take Mondo Mod off the hi-hat since I didn't use it. It'll save up some resource. Wow, yeah, this is spicy. Okay, let's see if this even plays without crashing. My guess, no. You can hear it chug. Oh, I don't have Restream on, that's why it's not playing. Oh, this probably isn't worth doing on stream then. Oh well. Because I'd have to add Restream to it. Let me just do it real quick. Actually, no, I have it down here. Okay, now. Or not, or just not. Okay, cool. Yeah, this isn't worth doing on stream, chat. Okay, alright, that's not fun. I'll do this off stream eventually, though. Let's go back to that lovely little, to that lovely little ambient piece instead, and just, I don't know. Oh. I think that's basically it. I don't really know what else to do with this. So my plan for further Music Mondays is to basically just do more like this. And what I want to do eventually is have almost like, you know, like the lo-fi girl, like beats to relax and study to on YouTube videos. I want to do something like that and have like a PNG tuber that's basically like that. Like almost reference to that, but it'll be like me at like a synth twisted knobs instead of a computer or something, you know? And it'll be like the moon bass in the background, which, I mean, little secret hint at stuff for the future. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. Yeah, it's chugging along. Ooh, the massive bass is actually, flipping. I'll turn it down a bit. There we go. Okay. This bass is very, like... Oh, if it's soloed out, you can really hear it in the, cassette bus. That, like, hiss. Cool. It's a very like mid-2010s like between like Witch House and like that like smooth trap soul like R&B hip hop sound from like the mid-2010s, like 2015 like ASAP Rocky, like Fetty Wap, Bryson Tiller, like that's the bass sound that was in that, like that like re-space, like Love Me Harder Ariana Grande was like the biggest pop song that used like that like smooth watery re-space. I'm obsessed with that type of sound and it's so easy to make, right? Like it was like one of the first things I did when I bought my DeepMind synth, that I just made that like old re-space sound. Anyways, chat, let's see if there's some more fun I can send everyone. Live. It's live. Oh, hold up. Someone is. That has not been live in a while. Let's see. Yeah, she's still going. Alright, chat, we're gonna go say hi to the clown. We're gonna go say hi to our favorite clown. So everybody behave. We're gonna raid Louette. I think it's an underscore. Okay, chat, everybody behave, and say hi to Louette. She's playing UFO 50, which I've heard of, but I haven't played. But yeah, everybody go say hi to her. Have a good night. Hopefully the vibes are still cozy over there. I actually made her music, so it's very cozy music, and I know she's very chill as well, so there's that. Anyways, chat, have a great night. I will put this on YouTube at some point. At the very least, it'll be in the Discord. So have a great night, everybody, and I hope everybody has a lovely rest of their week. My comms open tomorrow, if anybody's interested. You can check all that out on my socials. You can jump in the Discord, follow my Blue Sky, my Twitter, all that stuff. And I'll catch y'all later. Have a good one. Bye. Bye.
山の葉月は道息づくあなたの森夏草